former United States Marine, the Honorable Kenneth Melton, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Welcome to the January 2016 Blount County Board of Commissioners meeting. At this time, if you'll give your attention to the emergency evacuation procedures.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you have reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
Commission will come to order. Please register your presence by voting yes. Madam Clerk. Commissioner Daly, are you with us?
We have 20 present and 1 absent.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk. Commissioner French has a conflict in his schedule this evening. At this time, the chair will stand for a motion to set the agenda. Commissioner Caskey, are you making a motion to set the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to set the agenda and withdraw item F.C. from consideration.
Commissioner Caskey moves to set the agenda and withdrawing F6. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Sample seconds. The pending motion is to set the agenda and remove item F6. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When setting the agenda, I have always been perplexed why this commission has a section on its agenda titled Elections, Appointments, and Confirmations, but it routinely places those items under the consent calendar. There is no reason to continue this practice. That's the way we've always done it. Is not a sufficient reason to continue the practice. Therefore, I request that the appointments under B4 be moved to D, Elections, Appointments, and Confirmations, where they belong.
B4 was sent forward from the Agenda Committee and were voted to be placed on the consent calendar. Commissioner Caskey, I'll recognize you. You seek the floor.
No, sir.
Pending motion is to set the agenda as circulated, eliminating F6. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, can any commissioner remove an item from the consent calendar?
When we get to the consent calendar, yes.
We
We're
have to wait
setting
till
the
then?
agenda. We're
Okay.
setting the agenda now.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to set the agenda, removing F6. Vote no not to set.
Yes and 1 no.
19 yes and 1 no. The agenda is set. Agenda item B, consent calendar. Chair will stand for motion to approve the consent calendar. Who made the motion? Lewis moves. Carver seconds. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I think that the appointments belong under the heading of elections, appointments, and confirmations, and so I move that B4 be moved to D.
Items 4A, B, and C. Items so ordered. Items 4A, B, and C will be moved to items D, and I'll take them up after items D, 1B. Motion, the pending motion is to approve the consent calendar. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to approve the consent calendar. Vote no not to approve the consent calendar. Are the members ready to vote? Vote yes to approve the consent calendar. Vote no not to approve. There we go. Yes, 1 absent. Consent calendar is approved. Next item is item C, public input on items on the agenda. Does anyone wish to address on items on the agenda? Seeing no hands, we'll move to item D1A, confirmation of the mayor's appointment to the Budget Committee. The chair will stand for a motion to confirm the appointments to the Budget Committee sent forward by the mayor of Blount County, Tennessee.
So moved.
Commissioner Samples moves. Is there a second? Carter seconds. The question is to confirm the appointments of the Honorable Mike Lewis, Commissioner Jerome Moon, the Honorable Thomas Cole, and Sharon Ham to the Budget Committee. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a new year, but we are starting with the same old tax and spend ways. All of the same people have been recommended for reappointment to the Budget Committee. Let's look at the results of those Budget Committee members. Last year, the Budget Committee conducted a series of budget workshops. There were many requested increases, yet there were few, if any, questions asked on those increases. I attended several of those meetings. There were times you could hear a pin drop despite massive increases. The Budget Committee waited until the last minute to make any changes to the budget and removed few of those increases. The Budget Committee recommended one of the largest property tax increases in history, possibly the largest. This came after the county received a 22% increase in the local option sales tax. To add insult to injury, the Budget Committee sent to us a resolution to implement a wheel tax, a measure rejected twice by our citizenry. Only one member of the Budget Committee voted against these increases, but when you vote for increased spending throughout the year, it's hard to reconcile your no vote on tax increases. One member wouldn't even bring himself to vote for the wheel tax after voting to send the recommendations to the commission the day before. The member abstained. Do we need such uncertainty and weakness on the Budget Committee? Did any member of the Budget Committee ever ask why there are 15 sheriff's vehicles that were listed as being scrapped in the September 1st, 2015 Budget Committee packet, why they were taken to a recycling company that has been given a cease and desist order 2 months prior to the check being written? Did any members ask why the pay to line of the check written by the company given the cease and desist order was left blank? Grants are often presented to the Budget Committee after the deadline is passed. Did any members of the Budget Committee ever ask why a grant with a deadline of January was not presented into the Budget Committee until June? Do the members of the Budget Committee even read the dates on the paperwork before they vote? Has any member of the Budget Committee asked why there have been so many errors made by the Finance Director and his staff? The Budget Committee should be questioning the volume of mistakes and the quality of our Finance Director, who has routinely presented us with budget amendments to fix these errors. The fiscal year 16 budget was built around the recommendations of the then unfinished Evergreen Employee Classification and Compensation Study. Did any members of the Budget Committee ask to see a copy of the unfinished study before the budget hearings?
Commissioner.
Why did no member of the Budget Committee?
Commissioner, you're supposed to be speaking extemporaneously unless you have permission of the body to read.
I'm
Please
reading my
continue.
own notes.
Your reading requires, to read a document requires permission of the body. You can speak extemporaneously or you're out of order.
Okay, has any Budget Committee member asked why in October there was a budget increase request in the packet that listed a false department name, and the explanation line was left blank? The name of the department was listed as the Department of Denny Garner. When I tried to question what those funds would be spent on, the chairman became agitated with me for asking questions about that. Did the Budget Committee think that it was appropriate to ask questions? No. They moved adoption to recommend that budget increase along with all the other budget increases on that agenda and send them as one. They didn't even vote separately on them. They didn't ask any questions about the matter. They just rubber stamped it and sent it to us. This month in the packet, we finally have a letter from Tom Hatcher, the Circuit Court Clerk, explaining the use of some court cost funds for computers. The Budget Committee never requested that. We only got it after my repeated request for the information. So I think we have a Budget Committee that does not ask enough serious questions. They're too quick to pencil whip paperwork and send it to us. So I urge the members of this commission to consider that this Budget Committee has defied the wishes of the voters, has sent a huge property tax increase, and often just pencil whips what's put in front of them. So I urge everybody to reject these nominations. Thank you.
Commissioner Samples, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I made the motion to approve this committee, and I did that because I think this committee has done an excellent job. Why would we read in the paper that Blount County is one of 2 counties in this state of Tennessee to receive an excellent audit report with absolutely no questions? First time I can remember done in a long time. I would offer my congratulations to our accounting department and to the Budget Committee, and I would encourage you to reappoint these members.
Are the members ready for the question? The pending motion is to confirm the appointments of the Honorable Mike Lewis, Commissioner Moon, Honorable Thomas Cole, Sharon Hand of the Budget Committee. Vote yes to confirm, vote no not to confirm. I need to change my vote.
You have 13 yes, 5 no, and 2.
Madam Clerk, my came up wrong. It should be abstain.
Okay, then 12 yes, 5 no, and 3 abstain.
12 yes, 5 no, 2 abstain.
3.
3 abstain. It's supposed to be the last keystroke and confirm. The last keystroke was abstain.
We're back to solid waste now.
Okay, the next item of business is D1B, confirmation of the mayor's appointment to Solid Waste Authority. The chair will stand for a motion to confirm the mayor's appointment of the Honorable Tom Stinnett to the Solid Waste Authority.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Farmer moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Melton seconds. The motion is to confirm the appointment of Commissioner Tom Stinnett to Solid Waste Authority. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to confirm the appointment. Vote no not to confirm.
There's 17 yes, 2 no, and 1 abstain.
17 yes, 2 no, 1 abstain. The appointment is confirmed. Now, the next item of business is appointments of the Honorable Archie Archer, the Honorable Brad Bowers, Mrs. Kim Snodderly, Dr. Andy Doherty to the Agriculture Extension Committee. Is there a motion? Commissioner Hedrick moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Carver seconds. Pending motion is listed on your agenda tonight as item B4A. Can't take a voice vote. We have to call the roll. Madam, Ms. Clerk, call the roll. When your name's called, you vote yea or nay.
Okay.
Call the roll.
Agriculture Extension.
Agriculture Extension.
Akerd. Allen. Archer.
I'm sorry, we're on insert 5. They can vote. I'm sorry.
Let's get together, folks. We've started the roll call. Let's go ahead and complete it.
Bowers.
Abstain.
Carter.
Yes.
Carver.
Yes.
Caskey.
Yes.
Kaler.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
Crow.
Yes.
Daly. Farmer.
Yes.
Hedrick.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Melton.
Yes.
Miller. Monroe. Moon.
Yay.
Samples.
Yes.
Stinnett. You have 18 yes, 2 abstain, and 1 absent.
18 yes, 2 abstain, 1 absent. The appointments are confirmed. The next item is listed under B4B, and it's the appointment of Mrs. Carol Forster, Mr. Clarence Williams to the Blount County Hospital Board. I have a motion. Commissioner Samples moves. Is there a second? Second. Commissioner Archer seconds.
Samples.
Commissioner, the pending motion is to appoint Forster and Williams to the Blount County Hospital Board of Directors. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see a letter in our packet, and I also see some resumes, but has this body ever been provided with the list of responsibilities of what a board member for the hospital board actually does?
The nominating committee for the hospital board is made up of a group of citizens. They vet those people and forward the names to this body.
Right, I understand that, but I'm asking what the actual duties of the board members are.
I'm sure if you address that to the chairman of the board of the hospital, he can provide that information for you.
Okay, I would like to move to postpone this for 1 month.
Have motion
so
to
that we can-
postpone the appointment. Is there a second? Monroe moves to postpone the appointments, seconded by Commissioner Miller. Discussion on the motion to postpone. Commissioner Akers, you're recognized on the motion to postpone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could we hear the entire motion?
The motion is to postpone the appointments to the Blount County Hospital Board.
Was that it in its entirety, or did you cut the party off?
That's what I heard. It's in its entirety.
Okay.
Well, I take it, it can either be
So,
next month, yes.
This is
I didn't hear her say to postpone indefinitely.
it is indefinitely?
No.
Okay. Please clarify what we're postponing to and
The
why.
pending motion is to postpone the appointments to Blount Memorial Hospital Board until next month's meeting. That's the motion.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
For the purpose of obtaining a list of duties of the board members.
That is discussion, that's not part
Well,
of the legal motion.
I move to postpone till next month for the purpose of obtaining the list of duties. And the other reason for that, we have a resume in there, and it looks impressive. There's a lot of information on there, but the hospital may very well be, we guarantee debt for the hospital. And before I would be comfortable carrying such debt or voting to appoint someone, I want to know what that person's intentions are with debt, because I don't support staying in variable rate debt. And I would like to know what kind of debt policy they look for, and also what kind of vision they might have for reducing the debt, and what kind of vision they have for the hospital in general. So that's the reason I think that it would be helpful to have a little more information, because, yeah, we could just appoint the same old people, but having the same old people do things has historically been why Blount County is in such bad financial shape.
Are the members ready for the question? The pending motion is the motion to postpone the appointments to Blount Memorial Hospital's Board of Directors. If you're in favor of postponing, vote yes. If you're not in favor of postponing, vote no.
You have 6 yes, 14 no.
6 yes, 14 no. Motion to postpone fails. The pending motion is to appoint Forster and Williams to the Blount Memorial Hospital Board of Directors. Vote yes to appoint, vote no not to appoint.
Sorry, we're running. Samples and Archer.
Samples made the motion. Archer second. Are the members, are you ready? Okay, we're ready now. Vote yes to confirm the appointments. Vote no not to confirm.
You have 16 yes, 4 no.
16 yes, 4 no. The appointments are confirmed. The next item of business you'll find on the agenda under item B, 4C, appointments to the Jail Inspection Committee, Brad Bryant, Sharon Hannum, Robert Mathis. Is there a motion? Commissioner Carver moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Hedrick seconds. Pending motion is to appoint Bryant, Hannum, and Mathis to the Jail Inspection Commission. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to confirm the appointment. Vote no not to confirm.
Nineteen yes and 1 no.
19 yes, 1 no. The appointments are confirmed. There's no business under item E. The next item of business is item F1. Chair will stand for motion on item F1. Resolution 1601-004 to amend the general county fund budget by $28,470. Commissioner Carver moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Stinnett seconds. Motion is to adopt Resolution 1601-004. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In looking at this fund and the balance, I just had a question whether or not this fund could be, if it's used for the purpose of purchasing computers, whether or not that will be used to purchase computers for that department, or whether the recent IT purchase had included money in it for purchasing computers. So if we have this much money, I just want to know if the finance director or the circuit court clerk could let us know whether those funds have been used for computers and the IT needs in that department, or whether that was included in the $1.3 million that was just approved. Would the finance director?
It's my understanding from the Budget Committee and from the Agenda Committee, this is money that's put into this fund and earmarked because of fees charged by Circuit Court Clerk. They cannot be used for any other item other than that. I will have Mr. Vineyard address the issue. Is it part of the IT proposal? I do not believe it is. Mr. Vineyard, can you address that?
What we asked Commission to approve was the total cost of the scope of the work. We didn't get into any specifics about what department may or may not pay out of whatever reserve they may have available.
So,
Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
okay, thank you. So could this fund be used to pay for the portion of the IT, if it was any of that IT for the circuit court clerk?
Mr. Vineyard, you're recognized.
If the clerk's office has need of any IT resources, they have the ability to pay for them within the confines of what the law allows.
Commissioner Monroe.
Okay, I would just like to know more about that. It doesn't have to be tonight, but I would just like to know whether or not any of that future expenditures is related to the circuit court clerk, and whether or not it could be paid for with this fund rather than out of the general fund or out of the capital needs account. Thank you.
Pending motion is to adopt Resolution 1601-004. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt.
And 20 yes and 0 no.
20 yes, 1 absent. The resolution's adopted. The next item of business is F2. Chair will stand for motion on item F2, Resolution 1601-005, to amend the Education Capital Fund budget by $43,631.27.
Mr. Chairman, item F2, 3, 4, and 5 all concern the Education Department and been approved by the school board, so I move all 4 of those items.
Commissioner Samples moves agenda items F2, 3, 4, and 5. Is there a second? Commissioner Stinnett seconds. Pending motion is to adopt Resolution 1601-005, 6, 7, and 8. Commissioner Monroe?
It's F2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes, F2, 3, 4, and 5, which are Resolution 1601-005, Resolution 1601-006, 1601-007, and 1601-008. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really wish we would not do this. There's no reason to rush.
Been made, motion made and seconded. Continue.
I'm aware of that. I really wish we didn't do this. There's no reason. We're not going to save a lot of time by voting on 4 resolutions at once. I certainly am all for taking care of what happened to Porter, but I'm upset by the fact that the schools got a large budget increase this year, as have many other departments. And they come back to us in the middle of the year for big budget increases. And the taxpayers out here are struggling. They have had their budgets cut by this body because they've had to pay higher taxes. And then schools that got a huge increase, as did several other departments, have come back in the middle of the year wanting over $500,000. I'm all for fixing Porter. I was voted to send that on last week, but I am not for them walking in the middle of the year after they got a big budget increase for another $500,000. This really gets old. I look around this room and I see a body made up entirely of Republicans, but I'm beginning to think that doesn't lead to fiscal conservatism by this body or by Washington, D.C., that voted for the omnibus spending bill. So I move to divide the question. I would like to vote on F3 and F4 now.
Commissioner Monroe moves to divide the question. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Miller seconds. The motion is to divide the question. Discussion on the motion to divide the question. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized as a motion maker if you wish.
As I've said, I'm all for Porter being fixed. What happened was terrible. I support fixing and replacing whatever needs to be fixed and replaced. But the rest of this should come out of next year's budget. We should have a school board that lives within their means. We should have office holders that live within their means. When you got a big budget increase, you shouldn't waltz back in here in the middle of the year asking for more money. At some point, we as a body have to say no. They've known about these units for quite some time. They should have budgeted for them. So as I said, I move to divide the question, and if we don't divide the question, I'm going to vote no on all of it. But as I said, I do support fixing Porter, but I'm getting tired of having to vote lump sum and just ramrod everything through. There's no reason to conduct government like this.
Commissioner Caskey, you're recognized on the motion to divide.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is not an increase in the budget. This is using fund balance. I don't know why we need to divide the question. We vote on it. It's all coming from the same place. It's coming out of fund balance. It is not increasing the budget. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Daly, you're recognized on the motion to divide.
Well, that was the same thing I wanted to ask. My understanding was that this comes from what's left of the school budget. Is that correct?
Mr. Vineyard, can you address this issue?
It's their money, I think.
What fund balance is made up of is money that was not spent from prior year budgets.
Okay, I didn't hear that last word. Is this the school's money that they already have?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Vineyard.
thanks.
Are the members ready for the question? The pending motion is to divide the question. If you're in favor of dividing the question, vote yes. If you're not in favor of dividing the question, vote no.
Yeah, 4 yes and 16 no.
4 yes, 16 no. The pending motion is to adopt resolutions 1601-005, 6, 7, and 8. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized for the second time on the pending motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, I have a question. When
Ask the question.
When this is presented to the Budget Committee, is it checked as an increase? Each item has a transfer box or a increase-decrease box. Were these presented as increases to the Budget Committee?
These were presented as increases, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Are the members ready for the question? If you're in favor of adopting the resolutions, vote yes. If you're not in favor of adopting the resolutions, vote no.
Yeah, 16 yes and 4 no.
16 yes, 4 no. The resolutions are adopted. The next item of business is agenda item F7. The chair will stand for a motion on item F7, setting a public hearing for February 9, 2016, 6 p.m., room 430, Blount County Courthouse, regarding a request for rezoning from R2, Rural District 2, to R1, Rural District 1, for property located at 830 LaQuire Road, identified on map 106, parcel 003.00. Let's see, Commissioner Dodd got it in, and I'll take Commissioner Bowers seconds. The motion is to set a public hearing for February 9, 2016, 6 p.m., room 430, Blount County Courthouse, regarding rezoning from R2 to R1 of property located at 830 LaQuire Road, identified on map 106, parcel 003.00. Are members ready for the question? Vote yes to set the public hearing. Vote no not to set the public hearing.
Yes, 0 no.
20 yes, 0 no. The public hearing is set. The next item on the agenda is item G, statements and announcements. The chair has a statement. Chair asks unanimous consent to read. Is there objection? Hearing no objection, I have a letter dated the 19th of January from Bill Dunlap. I have 2 weeks vacation left on this year's budget. With that said, January 31, 2016 will be my last day on Blount County payroll. I will retire on that date. Signed, Bill Dunlap. At this time, the chair asks for unanimous consent to accept the resignation of Bill Dunlap, effective 1 minute past midnight on February the 1st, 2016.
So moved, Chair.
I ask for unanimous consent. Is there objection? Hearing no objection, Mr. Dunlap's resignation is accepted by this body. Mr. Akert, do you have a statement or an announcement?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I turned my light on after the vote on the jail inspection committee. It was an accident that I voted no. I did not intend to do that.
You'd like to change your vote on
the Jail Inspection Committee.
Did you vote yes or no?
I voted no. I actually tried to vote yes, but my fat thumb said no.
Since it carried, anytime a member wishes to change their vote on the announcement of the vote, you must speak up at that time.
I did press my button, and
Well, you need, pressing your button, you need to speak up and say, Mr. Chairman, my vote is incorrect. At that time, the chair should ask for unanimous consent to change the vote. So
thank you.
make a note in the statements and announcements that Commissioner Akard wished to have voted opposite the way the vote was recorded. But we really can't go back and change the vote, but we will place it in the record under statements.
Thank you, sir.
Item H, public input on items not on the agenda. Seeing no hands, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you.